So it took me 50 years of playing guitar to finally escape one of the biggest traps in music education. Diving too deep into music theory made me think too much, doubt myself, slowed my progress, even made me want to give up more than once. So if you've ever felt overwhelmed by theory, this is the video I wish someone had made for me. Do stick around to the end, because I'm going to give you 5 foolproof tips to stay out of the theory trap. So early on, I thought being able to play guitar well meant I had to learn theory first. Circle fifths, intervals, scales, modes, all of it. And until I mastered theory, I wouldn't be a real musician. So I kind of became the poster boy for how chasing theory too early can kill momentum and joy. Because it seemed like the deeper I dove, the more I lived in my head. You know, I was struggling to play music because I was so busy studying it and thinking there was a right and a wrong way to do it. Like obsessing over modes. You know, if I could just understand Dorian or Phrygian or Lydian, you know, I'll unlock my creativity. Didn't work for me. Modes actually made me think more, and my playing became more intellectual and detached from emotion. I mean, there was no YouTube back then, because if there had been, a Nashville cat like Guthrie Trapp would have set me straight.
In the recordings that I've done here and the gigs that I've played and the musicians that I've worked with, not one time has any producer or any artist of any level ever asked me if I know music theory. Of all the musicians I've ever worked with in Nashville, in any situation, I've never heard anybody talk about a mode ever. Nobody has mentioned the word mode since I moved here 25 years ago.
All right, I can hear you serious musicians out there balking, right? I'm not against theory. Everyone should learn enough theory to deepen their experience. Just don't let it trap you, because for most musical styles, you can be a great intuitive musician without any theory. You know, I still feel inadequate if I compare myself to a theory professor type like Rick Beato. And then I have to remind myself, I'm a different kind of musician than Rick is, right? He's always gonna smoke me in theory-based lead guitar and scales, but he's not a strong rhythm player or finger picker. He's definitely not a singer, and those are some of my strong suits. So I wallowed in that sense of inadequacy for a long time. I mean, decades before I realized that music theory is just a tool, not a requirement. Theory is a way to describe music, but not a rule book for how to create it. So when I just play and have fun, I sound better and I improve faster. You know, I feel the music have more impact on me, and I can see how much better the audience likes it. So if you think you can't be a musician until you master theory, let it go. Give yourself permission to create, explore, and play. I mean, it's called playing guitar for a reason. Now, as a guitarist, I've discovered a foolproof antidote to the theory trap. This is something that reboots my whole brain. I just switch my guitar into an alternate tuning. Any non-standard tuning. Open G. I'm going where the sun keeps shining through the pouring rain. Going where the weather suits my clothes. Open E. Tangled up in blue. Tangled up in blue. Tangled up in blue. Tangled up in blue. Dadgad, answer my friend, is blowing in the wind. The answer is blowing in the wind. Something more exotic. Peacocks wander aimlessly underneath an orange tree. why can't you see me? You just get out of the standard tuning you learn scales and chords in, right? And when the guitar's tuned differently, all the theory you've learned, those chord shapes and scale patterns, don't work anymore. So I can't lean on formulas, right? And I can't overthink. I'm forced to listen, make lots of mistakes, and let my fingers find musical shapes just by ear and feel. That's why open tunings are magic to me, and why I keep making videos about them. You know, I get inspired by the new voicings I hear and all the happy accidents, and I automatically make music that's more honest, right? Because it's just me in that moment. I'm not applying theory or rules. I'm just connecting to the sound and the emotion. And that's where most of the best music comes from. So last year I interviewed Peppino D'Agostino for this channel. He was named one of Guitar Player magazine's 50 best acoustic guitarists of all time. And Peppino told me how he composed 9 White Kites. This is an awesome fingerstyle piece. It was actually inspired by an exotic alternate tuning. So check this out.
If you listen to the chord, which is a C sharp minor suspended, basically, bass, C sharp minor. I like harmonics, so it starts like this. And then, okay, this is cool, easy. And then what I do with this, I play the string above, so then I added this bass, the fundamental key center.
Such a beautiful, weird tuning that Peppino couldn't rely on music theory in the composition process, right? But still, he composed a classic. If you're interested, you can watch that whole video from the link in the description. Okay, I promised you 5 hard-won tips to stay out of the theory trap. Here you go. Tip 1, you don't need theory to make music. So many amazing guitarists never learn theory formally. I mean, none of the 4 Beatles learned theory, but they're considered the most influential and innovative band of all time. Sophisticated chord progressions, endless melodic invention. I mean, listen to Because from Abbey Road. That's musically complex, but still straight from the heart. Tip 2, learn songs first, theory later. You know, just by playing a wide range of songs and styles, you're gonna keep learning theory in context. I think it's more fun that way, a lot easier to absorb, more likely to stick. Tip 3, theory is the map, not the territory. So theory can show you where you are, but it can't tell you how to play, or what to feel, or where to go with your music. That's up to you. Tip 4, don't confuse knowledge with skill. You know, knowing how music works doesn't equate to being able to play it well or with emotional impact. Tip 5, use theory to serve your expression, not your ego. The point is not to sound smart or impressive. It's to sound like you, right? So the jaw-dropping guitar master Julian Lage calls this getting rid of duty. That's the obligation you feel to anyone who's listening. You know, he says, you don't know what they're thinking, so don't even try to guess. And when you catch yourself saying, I want the audience to think this or feel that, just change it to, I want to think this or feel that. All you owe the listener is your authentic expression. And that's true at every point in your evolution as a guitarist, a musician, a singer, a songwriter. Now, if you want to learn more from Julian, I made a 5-part series to share what he taught me. Awesome stuff. Starts right here. So back to you. If you take anything from this video, make it this. Whenever music theory starts messing with your mind, just take a sec, shake it off, and then try to coax a little more feeling, a little more of your truth from whatever you're playing. Or use my brainbuster technique and switch to an alternate tuning. Because really the fastest way to become a real musician is way less about theory and more about active listening and making music that's true to you. Because your truth will always be more than just theory. All right, please make sure you subscribe with that bell turned on. I'd love to help each other stay out of traps and keep discovering and living the joy of music.